Yeah, Gita.
Thanks. Picking up on the reference to Iran, I have a question about the school poisoning. It has spread. It hasn't stopped, and more schools are being the students are being poisoned. The government is not doing anything about it. One thing that they seem to be doing is preventing the medical profession from giving the parents access to their kids' lab results, or even preventing them from seeing their kids while they're being treated. Some officials say this is just stress related, and some others are saying that the girls are doing this themselves. They are doing what everybody's calling chemical attack. Would you support or even initiate a call for international investigation?
So, Gita, first, these reports of continued poisoning of schoolgirls across Iran, they are unconscionable. These poisonings need to be stopped immediately. Women and girls in Iran, and women and girls everywhere, for that matter, have a universal human right. It is the universal right to education. It's essential to advancing economic security, prosperity, realizing their potential, whether that's in Iran or anywhere else. There must be accountability for those responsible for what is happening. To your question, if these poisonings were found to be related to women and girls' participation in protests, then it would be within the mandate of the UN's independent international fact-finding mission on the Islamic Republic of Iran to investigate. Our thoughts do remain with all of those who are suffering from this. And to the other element of your question, we are alarmed by what we've seen on the part of Iranian authorities. The reported arrests of a prominent journalist, Ali Portabatai, for investigating the poisonings. We're also alarmed by reports that Iranian authorities have intimidated parents, that they have intimidated medical professionals into silence. The entire world is greatly concerned about these poisonings. Iranian authorities should cease suppressing the media and allow them to do their jobs. The same is true for medical professionals. The same is true for parents who are attempting merely to care for their children. There must be accountability for these poisonings, and most importantly, they must come to an end.
Well, the fact-finding mission's mandate is long. How about, I don't know, the WHO or the International Red Cross? Would it be possible? Would you call for that? Do you think that's something that would be more credible than the government itself doing the investigation?
So I'm not going to speak for any other organization that may or may not have a role in this, but there is a fact-finding mechanism within the UN itself. There was a fact-finding mechanism within the auspices of an existing UN body. If it is determined that there was a motive at play in an effort to suppress the ambitions, the abilities of women and girls in Iran, we do think it would be appropriate for that particular body to, within their mandate, to investigate.
Well, how do you determine the motive? I mean, presumably you don't trust any Iranian investigation. So how do you get to the point where you can say that, okay, this now falls within the purview of the...
So the world, Matt, is watching very closely, and we are, even in the midst of Iranian attempts to intimidate and to suppress information that is reaching the rest of the world, we've been able to see these reports, we've been able to see video, we've been able to hear firsthand accounts. I think it will become clear to the world what is or what is not happening if that information continues to emanate from Iran. We'll continue to watch very closely, and we'll continue to call for what's appropriate and effective.
But you haven't, based on what's come out so far, you have not been able to assign motive.
That's right.
What makes you think that, I mean, this has been going on for some time now.
That's right.
So you're confident that without an international investigation or an international fact-finding mission or something like that, that could get inside Iran and look to see what a motive might be or is, you can determine that anyway?
We've been able to see with our own eyes through news reports, through reports that are emanating from Iran, video footage of this as well. I suspect we'll continue to learn more about this if these, unfortunately, continue. We want to do what is most effective, what we think will help to address, that will come to the aid of women and girls who's been subjected to this. Most importantly, these reported poisonings need to come to an end.
There are also reports about
On Iran?
discovery of secret jails in Iran where they torture those girls that are arrested. Do you have any comment on that?
We've seen these reports of attempted suppression on the part of those who are reporting on this. We've seen reports as well that those who may have been subjected to what is afflicting these girls in Iran may also have been intimidated and the subject of repression themselves. Of course, all of this is greatly concerning for us. Yes?
Yeah, the foreign minister in Iran spokesman today said his country is still exchanging message with Washington, and he expressed commitment to diplomacy, as he said, to resolve the differences and the nuclear negotiation issue. Can you confirm that about the message, and what's your comment? Why did he? How do you read it?
I haven't seen the full context of these remarks, but what I can tell you is that we have heard plenty of misleading and outright misleading statements and outright lies from Iranian officials over the course of weeks now. The JCPOA is not on the agenda. It has not been on the agenda for some time. What has been on the agenda are three primary topics: the violence and the repression, the efforts on the part of the Iranian regime to suppress its own people, Iran's provision of UAV technology to Russia, and then, of course, Iran's continued practice of wrongfully detaining Americans in Iran. We have means by which to make our positions and to make clear the priority we attach to each of those issues, but we're just not going to speak to the particular channels.
So
Yes.
you deny that you're exchanging messages with Tehran with respect to the nuclear negotiation?
The JCPOA is not on the agenda. Yes.
I also